Welcome to the Trust and Believe NOMADCAST, a podcast that talks about mental health, life lessons, unbridled motivation, and unique storytelling. Here is your host, retired Army Master Sergeant, Mr. Anderson.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 76 of the Trust and Believe NOMADCAST. I'm your host, Mr. Anderson. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope this NOMADCAST finds you in great spirits and great health. And I hope you guys had a great Monday as well, President's Day. So most everyone had the day off. So I hope you enjoyed that. Also, hope you enjoyed yesterday's show as well, where we talked about the NBA Slam Dunk Contest and some much needed improvements that the powers that be needs to make. All the key decision makers sitting in the NBA room, if you will. All right. So today's episode, we're gonna talk about Ben Simmons. Just to give you a little backstory, Ben Simmons, formerly of the Philadelphia 76ers, and now he plays with the Brooklyn Nets. And everyone that's followed the sport or followed the situation knows that Ben Simmons claims to have mental issues. And I use that word claim very lightly, right? Because whenever someone says they're having issues, we're quick to pile on, or they're going crazy, or they're spooky, they got PTSD and all that. And I would tell you, someone that's been diagnosed and suffers from PTSD through to wartime situations and other things, I would tell you, whenever someone claims that they're mental or there's mental issues, I always listen. I always try to listen with not so much with caution, but with sympathy and empathy, so on and so forth, right? A lot of people say, well, he's a professional athlete and, he shouldn't have these issues. Look, man, and you see it all the time. All these A-list actors, all these A-list folks in society, these people that we propped up, they're killing themselves, they're suffering from depression and all the et ceteras. A lot of that is due to mental health, mental awareness, mental strain, the inability to kind of keep up, with your status and any other issues as well. So we'll talk about that, the whole Ben Simmons situation, going from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Brooklyn Nets. And I broke it down into 4 categories on why, in my personal opinion, that we really need to, listen to what Ben Simmons is saying. And it's not too far-fetched because we've all have done it. So what I plan on doing with this particular episode is stripping this thing down, breaking it down from Ben Simmons, the NBA player who has a gazillion dollars in the bank, to the regular people like us who's not on no A-list status, if you will, in terms of being an NBA athlete, and how everything that he claims that he's going through, we all have went through it as well. So I kind of talk about his situation, and then I go into how it's not too far-fetched because we've all been through it as well. So let's go ahead and get it started. Again, we're talking about Ben Simmons and how his mental health issues are not too far-fetched. Very first one we're going to talk about is trade rumors. Number one is the trade rumors. So everyone knows in the NBA, the NFL, or any major league sport, when your name is brought up in trade rumors, there's 2 ways of thinking. One thinking is, okay, the organization is trying to get better, right? And they want to send me off to another team. In return, they want some assets as well, whether it's draft picks, whether it's, a player to be named later, or a A-list star in return, right? Now, on the other side of that, you could be thinking, man, these guys don't even want me. Now I'm going to this team. What if the team I'm going to may end up trading me? So it's kind of like it's a positive and negative that goes on with that. So again, we talked about that. The point I just made is at the NBA level. Let's think about that on our own level. You work in a section, because I've been part of it as well. You work in a section, you work in the company, whatever. So now all of a sudden, the company that you work for, the company that you employed with, they want to send you to another company that they claim, can utilize your assets, utilize your talents, utilize your skill sets. And oh, by the way, you bring value to the organization. So you may say, you know what, I need a fresh start. I want to go somewhere else where I'm wanted or needed. Now, on the other side of that, you may be thinking, man, I've been putting all this work in for all these years. I done sacrificed my personal time. I done sacrificed my weekends. I done sacrificed my family to come in here and do do these presentations and these slide decks and all these other things, and now they don't even want me no more. So we're quick to judge Ben Simmons on, trade rumors. That's part of the game. You better suck it up. But think about us regular folks, because we all have been there. We all have been there where you work in a particular area, a section, a company, or what have you, and all of a sudden you have to go. They want to send you somewhere else, and now it could be the other side wants you because they know you're a team member, you're a team player, you're a valued asset, but you may be looking at sideways in a negative way, saying, "Y'all don't want me no more." I mean, I did so much for you guys, so we got to really think about that. And all the former athletes, they quick to pile on. With trade rumors, that's part of the game. I've been traded 15 times. So what? It affects everyone. Remember, we're not stone cold thinkers, and we don't take things internally like we used to. Society is different. Society has changed. You have a young man that's basically said, you know what? The trade rumors hurt me because I thought I was a part of this team. I thought I was a cornerstone of this team. And now I'm hearing my name in trade rumors. So what is that saying? You guys don't want me? And the trade was supposed to be between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Houston Rockets, right? So now you're feeling, man, you're not feeling that on the other side, Houston wants me. I can't wait to get there. You're feeling, as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers, you guys don't want me. We've had these playoff runs. I know we've come up short of our ultimate goal is to win a championship, and I may have let you guys down, but you want to get rid of me? Let's try to rehab this situation. Let's find put pieces around me to make me better, to make my team better. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to absolve Ben Simmons of anything. What I'm just trying to do is to present his argument and strip it down for us non-NBA players, us non-A-listers, can think about, because we've all been through it. So that's the first one, trade rumors. The second one is his play was affected. So if you're going through trade rumors, we talked about that. When you're going through trade rumors, you feel that you're not wanted. You feel that you're not needed. No one cares about your value. No one wants you around, period. Don't you think that really affects your play? Because he had issues in the Atlanta Hawks playoff series where he was missing free throws, missing open shots, and the man refuses to shoot. So again, I am not absolving Ben Simmons of anything. I'm just trying to take his situation and relate it to regular people like us. So he had some issues in the playoff games. So think about it. If you have these mental issues where you feel you're not wanted, you're not needed, no one cares about you, how are you going to go about your work day? How do you feel going to work? If you're a forklift driver, your foreman can't stand you. No one likes you. How are you going to perform that day? You probably be dropping pallets, downloading trucks, dropping all the equipment, dropping sensitive items, so on and so forth, right? I've had this situation in the Army. When I came from Germany, my first duty station after Germany was Fort Hood, Texas. And it was not a polished environment. It was a very toxic environment until some of those folks that were toxic leaders, they end up either retiring or transferring PCS into another duty assignment. And I would tell you, I went in there and I thought I was the man in Germany. I had positive leadership. I mean, it was great. Mentorship. I was a mentee. I mean, things were great. Things were phenomenal, right? Very positive environment. So then when they get to Fort Hood, they kind of looking at me like, okay, so what? Who cares what you did in Germany? You're here now. And so it was kind of like a slap in the face. Like, man, for 3 years, these cats loved me in Germany. So now I'm here at Fort Hood, and you cats just treat me like some regular dude. So it affected my work. For the first year, I was in Fort Hood for 2.5 years. That first year I was at Fort Hood, it affected my work. My leadership was questioned and everything. So think about that. Your play is affected. This guy had trade rumors. So now he's in a situation, it affects his play. Again, taken from the NBA standpoint to a regular person standpoint, you will be affected. We've all been affected. I just provided you a real life story. I was affected by it. It affected my leadership. I didn't even think I can even move further, move up the ranks in the Army, because everything I did when I was at Fort Hood as a young E5, as a sergeant, All my moves were questioned. Every decision I made was questioned. Why you do this? Well, when I was a sergeant, I didn't do it this way. So just imagine how the NBA player feels. But we're also quick to pile on. Suck it up. You make millions of dollars. At the end of the day, we're all human, right? So his play was affected. Again, like I said, he was missing free throws, missing open shots, and just not really playing good ball. But how did that mental strain affect him? How did his mentals affect him, affect his performance? And then, you playing in Philadelphia, the city, they talk about the city of brotherly love. That was the same city that booed Santa Claus. It's the same city that cheered when Michael Irvin got hurt, when he was with Dallas and they was playing the Eagles. So we could talk about all this. Everybody's tough guy, hard hat, lunch pail, and all that. At the end of the day, this man was affected because he didn't feel loved. He didn't feel cheered for. Everything was negative. We all can share that same story. Number 3, no confidence from his leadership. Think about that. No confidence from his leadership. So his coach, Doc Rivers, who's won a championship, former NBA player, Hall of Fame coach, right? After the playoff game against the Hawks last year, right? After that playoff game, what did the reporters asked him a question. Can you win a championship with Ben Simmons? And instead of Coach Rivers saying, you know what, we're going to do what we need to do to fortify this team, fortify him, get him in a place of strength, get him in a place of empowerment, and put the right pieces around him, right? So he can catapult, so he can ascend to greatness. Coach Doc Rivers basically said, I don't know if I can win a championship with him. So now, again, Ben Simmons is affected. So not only trade rumors, I feel like you guys don't want me no more, right? And his play is affected because I feel that the city is against me, my teammates against me, my coaching staff is against me, the front office is against me, everyone's against me, right? And then now you talk about there's a lack of confidence from the coaching staff, from your coach, the head ball coach, the guy that's supposed to the guy was a former NBA player. So he could have put his arms around Ben and say, hey, after the season, I know you had a bad playoff series against the Hawks, right? You were exposed. Let's sit down. And I don't know if these guys do it. I'm merely speculating. Let's sit down and figure out what can we do to make you better. Yes, you need to challenge yourself more. You need to shoot jump shots more. You need to make open shots. You need to do these things. Again, I don't know if they've had these conversations, but the player probably felt like, man, my coach is not confident in me, doesn't have confidence in me. What am I supposed to do? So now we could talk about that. I've had issues with leadership, not having confidence in some of my decision-making abilities. I've had that. I've been through that. Yes, I made it to the rank of master sergeant, but there were times I was challenged as a specialist. I was challenged as a sergeant, a staff sergeant, a sergeant first class, right? Master sergeant, I didn't really meet too many challenges. I was a different breed then. But the whole point what I'm saying is he didn't feel like Papa Bear cared for him being the cub, if you will. And Papa Bear, which was Coach Rivers, he probably should have said, you know what? Don't worry about this question. I'm not going to answer that question. Me and Ben, we're going to sit down this summer and we're going to hash some things out, him and the rest of our leadership on the team, and try to figure this thing out. Because the only way we want to go is going forward. I'm not going to worry about what happened in this playoff game. I'm going to keep it in mind, but I'm not going to worry about it. And we're going to figure out the best way to utilize his tools, utilize his skill set to ensure he brings value to not only himself, but to the 76ers and to the city of Philadelphia, right? So I fought Doc Rivers on that. But again, you can kind of fault Ben Simmons. Again, I will continue to say this throughout this episode. I am not absolving Ben Simmons of anything. I am not, because we all fall short of the glory. And a lot of our wounds are self-inflicted. But I think if you really strip this thing down like I'm attempting to do and relate it to regular people like us, we all have been through this. We all continue to do this. Some of us that's going to work every day deals with this. But then as soon as we see an athlete go through this, oh, he weak. Well, he ain't strong. He must have been around weak people. I'm telling you, we all go through it. We all have been through it. So that was the third one. No confidence from leadership. Number 4, the very last one, which is probably the most important, issues with his teammates. So teammate Joel Embiid, who's a very, alpha male, very outspoken. There was a rumor going around that him and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons did not get along. One guy wanted to be the alpha. Everyone wants to be the alpha male. They want to be in charge, and they want to be the main voice of the team. And I don't think Ben Simmons, just kind of watching him, I don't think Ben Simmons' makeup is about being a rah-rah guy, the alpha guy. He may be a quiet leader. But the problem that Ben Simmons had, for one, he didn't challenge himself, and 2, the situation probably didn't allow him to be a confident leader. So now you got this dog, which is Joel Embiid, just barking every day. I'm this, I'm that. He on social media doing all these things. He's the alpha male of the team. Everyone on the team loves him. The coaching staff loves him. The front office loves him. Ownership loves him. The city of Philadelphia loves him. And they probably looking at Ben Simmons like, man, you just the number 2. You may end up being a number 3. So how do you think Ben Simmons feels? So now he's in the situation where he's challenged, right? He is challenged. It only could be one voice, player-wise, right? So Ben Simmons like, I don't have a voice here. I have an issue with this guy, my teammate. Again, we've all been there. I've been there. I've been in situations where I was a staff sergeant and I had another staff sergeant, and he probably was a little more outspoken than me, but I'm a very calculated person. And I watch what I say, I watch what I do, so on and so forth. So we didn't have a great relationship. I was assigned first class when I was a recruiter. Didn't have a great relationship with my station commander. I mean, things happen. Sometimes it only can be one dog in the room. And sometimes when you got 2 alpha males going together, things don't work out. So how do you think Ben Simmons felt when, his teammates should have, put him on their back, right? And kind of carried him, but he should have done things himself. Maybe he could have opened up some conversation. Maybe he could have opened up some dialogue. Hey, do we have issues? I don't have an issue with you. Well, I have an issue with you. I think you talk too much. I think you're on social media too much. Just lay everything out man to man. Have that conversation, because at the end of the day, the whole point of you guys being there is to try to win the Philadelphia 76ers and NBA championship. And you end up failing on that. And then when Ben Simmons, he went ghost in the summer, mental issues, didn't want to play. I don't know if the teammates called him. They probably did, right? But I don't think he was answering the phone. So everyone, I'm not absolving anybody. Well, I'm absolving everybody. The whole point is everyone's at fault, but digging deeper, we've all been through the same issues that Ben Simmons is going through. But then we're all quick to judge, quick to point the finger. He's crazy. He's losing it. He's loony. He shouldn't be upset anyway. He's making millions of dollars. Money does not make you happy. It's been proven throughout history, throughout time. You've seen it. You've watched it. You've read it. Money does not make people happy. People want to be in great situations. They want to be around great people. They want leadership to have confidence in them. They want the subordinates to have confidence in them. They want their peers to have confidence in them. And when you lose confidence in your subordinates and your seniors, your peers, your superiors, and people that you're around, what do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to lose confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? But then again, you got to be in a constructive environment, an environment of empowerment where people want to help you and get you better, make you better. I won't say get you better, make you better. People want to do that. But again, Ben Simmons as well. I'm not absolving you from this because a lot of this is your fault as well. However, at the end of the day, what is the ultimate goal? To win the NBA championship. And they failed on that. So now we're going to see now with Ben Simmons playing in Brooklyn with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, that's going to be interesting as well. So how's that going to go down? You know what I mean? What is it going to be like when Ben Simmons finally takes the court? Because he hasn't played this year yet, hasn't played this season. So what happens when Ben Simmons finally takes the court and they play that game? Because I think they play the Philadelphia 76ers March 10th, if I'm correct, right? So what happens now when he plays his former teammates, what's going to be said? You know what I mean? It's going to get an elbow to the ribs and all these sorts of things, all these little games. So it's going to be interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's episode 76 of the Trust and Believe NOMADCAST. And we talked about how Ben Simmons' mental issues are not far-fetched because we all have been through it. So I thank you guys for tuning in today. Hope you continue to have, I'm talking too fast. Hope you guys have a great and blessed day. Continue to be safe and sound. Remember, there's no show tomorrow. It's only Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So continue to be safe. Watch your steps, watch yourself, watch your back, watch your six, and do what you need to do to be successful. We'll see you guys again Thursday for Gym Shoe Stories on a Thursday. Got another comparison between a pair of Nike Air Max from 1995 and a pair from 1990. So we'll dive into that. Stay tuned, stay locked. See you guys on Thursday. Have a great day. Trust and believe.